11:30 p.m. Thursday and kidnapped several students and staff. They broke into the institution by breaching a perimeter fence and then encroached about 600 meters to attack the first facility.
Right inside there, we were able to go to see where the bandits, tried to defense. They break the fence, they penetrate into, and they took some of the students that are there in the hostels, and some of the female students. They took them away.
And they said some are one Divabi garrison. So I checked my daughter there. She's not among them. So I don't know where she is for now. And that's my anger. That's my pain.
I will pray that they will find where those children are and they will bring these children back safe.
According to findings, the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, on receiving a distress call, alerted the 1 Division Nigerian Army and the Air Training Command of the Nigerian Air Force.
Military and other security agencies are working around the clock. Some of the students that were rescued sustained injuries, just bruises within the school environment. They are presently receiving medical attention at a military facility.
Troops of the Nigerian Army immediately moved to the school and engaged the bandits accordingly. Out of the 180 successfully rescued, 42 are females, 8 staff, and 130 male students, as 30 students across gender are yet to be accounted for. Meanwhile, reactions have been pouring from family members and the affected students. Governor Nasir Ahmed El Rufai commended troops for rescue efforts as combined team of security were conducting operations to track the missing students. In Kaduna, Achari Maxwell, NTA News.
And joining us from Kaduna via Zoom is the Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan. Sir, thank you for joining us on the studios of NTA International.
Thank you for having me.
Now, from your earlier interview, you said 30 students are still missing. What is the current situation there in Afaka?
As we speak, we've gotten a new development. The new development is the total number of 39 students comprising a female and male are missing. Earlier on, we said 30, but from checking, we have confirmed that a total number of 39 students are missing, comprising both male and female, like I said. And I'm also happy to inform you that troops, alongside with other security agencies, are presently working around the clock, like I said, and by the special grace of God, we will have a breakthrough in the ongoing operation.
Now, it's been confirmed that 39 are missing and troops are on the trail of the abductors. Has there been any form of contact established by the government or by parents?
Well, I am not in position to talk about that. But what is also important is we are focused on rescuing the 39 students who are still missing or believed to have been kidnapped. But like we said, the prompt response by troops of the Nigerian Army and other agencies saved the day, because they were able to rescue a total number of 180 students and also staff, 42 female students, 8 staff, and 130 male students of the college, that is Federal College of Forestry Mechanization. So you imagine if there was no prompt security response, definitely we will have been talking of a higher number. But we don't want to undermine the ongoing operation. Security agencies are working around the clock. Government is also supporting them alongside with our vast human intelligence network. By the special grace of God, we will have a breakthrough.
Now, considering the mood and anxiety in the area, particularly as it concerns parents, what assurances is the state government giving to them on the release, that is, by government and the troops, on securing the release of those abducted?
We met with parents and also guardians of the 39 students and also management of the institution, and we explained to them the commitment of security agencies and also government of Kaduna State. Alongside with the federal government, we explained to them what we're doing, and we appealed to them to be calm. This is heartbreaking. It is not a good omen, and we share their pain. And we are working. We are working around the clock. Like I said, we don't want to speak much. What is important is we are focused. The security agencies are also spreading their tentacles, and by the special grace of God, we will have a breakthrough in the ongoing operation. What we need is support. What we also need is volunteering of credible information, because information is very key in the battle against banditry. Apart from the kinetic approach to this, it is also information is a vital component.
We thank you very much for the update on the situation in Kaduna.
Thank you. You're welcome.
That was Mr. Arwan, the Commissioner of Internal Security in Kaduna. Moving on, in the meantime, the Director General of the FRIN, Professor Adeshola Adepoju, says more efforts are being intensified to ensure the safe return of the abductees. He said this during an interview with NTA News in Kaduna.
We are about 14 male students are still missing, and 23 girls are still missing from the compound.
Okay, but this other part of the one...
Okay, apart from those that we've not been able to account for, the military came and helped us evacuate the students that are left on the campus to the NTA for safety, to prevent further security breach. And so that's where they slept overnight. And the commandant has also done well to help us treat those who were injured in the process of trying to escape running around. And I think they were also fed this morning by the commandant. So that was the good thing that's been done concerning those that were left on the compound after the bandit had left, about 12:30 there about a.m. this morning.
And still on security matters, the newly appointed service chiefs have visited 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Enugu, in continuation of their official visits to military formations across the country. Mina Kabasi reports that the team was led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo.
Arriving the 82 Division Nigerian Army, Enugu State, in company of Chief of Army Staff, General Ibrahim Atahiru, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral A.Z. Gambo, and Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal I.O. Amao. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Leo Irabo's first assignment was inspection of the quarter guard.
May I have your permission to dismiss the guard into the guard room, sir?
Thereafter, the august visitors were received by the Nigerian Army officers' wives before proceeding for a closed-door meeting with top military officers of the 82 Division, who were delighted to also welcome one of their own and a former GOC commanding 82 Division, General Ibrahim Atahiru, Chief of Army Staff. Addressing the 260 combined soldiers, comprising soldiers of 82 Division, airmen and airwomen of Ground Training Command of the Nigerian Air Force, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Leo Irabo, praised the men for their resilience, passion, and patience in the face of daunting circumstances and urged them to do more.
But I also believe that as we leave, the General Officer Commanding as well as the Air Officer Commanding and the various brigade commanders who will be speaking with you to let you know the details of what we have told them so that you take flight with those instructions.
A team of the highest ranking military officers moved to the Government House, Enugu, on a courtesy visit and security summit, well received by the Deputy Governor, Cecilia Ezilo. In Enugu, Minna Adobio Kobasi, NTA News.
Nigerians have been tasked to think of embracing global best practices in all endeavors to surmount the challenges of poverty and insecurity. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, stated this as the pre-convocation lecture of Sokoto State University. He said it is time for Nigeria to begin to think deeply about the alternative sources of energy, calling on institutions to pay attention to the dynamics in the oil and gas sector. In the area of security, the Vice President said emphasis globally now is on human security, which is about providing adequate security for the huge population of Nigeria, which government is faced with daily.
To account the fact that there are minorities within our communities and that they also must have a say in the establishment of those security outfits. They reaffirmed the statutory jurisdiction of state governments over forest reserves, and they agreed that in collaboration with the federal government, they will undertake initiatives to eradicate forest-based crime. On the part of the federal government, we're committing to training and deploying more forest rangers to all of the various forests.
Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Temitope Silva, has denied any purported increase in the pump price of petrol. Addressing a press conference on the sideline of a groundbreaking ceremony of a gas cylinder manufacturing facility in Lagos, the minister said neither the president, as the substantive Minister of Petroleum Resources, nor himself approved any increase in the pump price of petrol. He blamed the purported new price regime of 209 naira 61 kobo and 212 naira 61 kobo per litre announced by PPPRA as a mix-up in communication, and apologized to Nigerians.
By 1 naira. I will therefore urge you to disregard this misleading information. You are all aware that for the past few months, the government has been in consultation with organized labor to find a lasting solution to this problem. The price of crude oil, which is in turn has inevitably led, the price of crude oil has gone up, which might inevitably lead to price increase at the pump. But this cannot happen before the negotiations with labor and all stakeholders has been concluded.
While stating that the federal government is not going back on full deregulation of the downstream oil sector, the minister said any change in pump price would only be decided after due consultation with all stakeholders. He therefore called on marketers to maintain status quo and refrain from hoarding or creating artificial scarcity of the products. And the recurrent speculations on increased petrol pump price is becoming one too many, with motorists at the receiving end, despite assurances from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, that the corporation was not contemplating any rise in the ex-depot price of petrol in March. Lydia Sampson has the situation reports on the queues that resurfaced in Abuja Friday morning.
The erratic situation around petrol pump price motorist is creating uncertainty in the petroleum downstream sector. A visit to petrol stations in the FCT shows another phase of panic buying, with stations in the city center still selling within the price band. However, with queues building up.
No, we are not increasing for now. We are selling 165 per litre now.
Right now, you can see the price is 165 naira per litre. And in most places that I've heard as well, it's still maintaining the same reduced price, not the new price So there's no need for panic, really.
So the public need reassurance about the possibility and availability of fuel so that people can move into the filling station and buy fuel.
The situation is, however, completely different from what we found in most petrol stations in the Gwarimpa area of Abuja.
Government did not increase fuel price. I have not seen it on the news that they increased fuel price. So I don't know why the meter is going up and down. When I came, I saw 170. Now I'm seeing 165. So I don't know what's happening. You understand? Maybe the meter is doing magic. Government should put her into this.
I bought it 200 naira now. Inside the filling station. Yes, this one here. This is Gwarimpa, I think, 3rd Avenue, I guess. Make me feel bad because I woke up this morning only to discover that there's no fuel. What's the reason for the queue? No one can explain. I don't understand.
All efforts to get a confirmation or a denial from the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, proved abortive. For now, however, we are told that the ex-depot price remained the same without any increase.
NNPC stands by that statement that we are not increasing our ex-depot price in the month of March. And that is still the position of things. It has not changed.
At the time of filing in this report, NTA News gathered that the PPPRA has since deleted the template announcing the alleged increase in pump price from its website. We also ran into a theme from the Department of Petroleum Resources DPR inspecting stations to ensure compliance with the actual running price band of 161 naira to 166 naira per litre. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Well, the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, has described as false and misleading that the information that alleged increase in the pump price of petrol was authorized by it. A statement by the agency's Executive Secretary Abdul Qadir Saidu emphatically stressed that even though the guiding prices posted on its website was a reflection of an upward price trend following current market fundamentals, it is not a categorical statement of an increase in the pump price of petrol. In carrying out its mandate of monitoring and keeping the downstream subsector vibrant, the PPPRA assures the public that there is adequate product supply of more than 35 days sufficiency and no need for anxiety or panic buying of petrol. You're watching the news on NTA International. Time now for a short break. More stories when we return.
Latest entrant, latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Intel. Live more.
The Supreme Court has affirmed the conviction of former Governor of Plateau State, Joshua Dare, upon which he was jailed for 14 years. The Apex Court, however, quashed the criminal misappropriation of public funds, which earned him a jail term of 2 years. Judiciary correspondent Vera Chimuba reports.
The Court of Appeal had in 2018 convicted and sentenced the former Governor of Plateau State, Joshua Dare, for 10 years for diverting 1.162 billion naira. He was charged for criminal breach of trust and misappropriation of public funds. Not satisfied with the decision of the lower court, he brought this appeal, praying the Apex Court to upturn his conviction.
Delivering the judgment in an appeal filed by the former Governor of Plateau State, Joshua Dare, Justice Helen Ogunwumiju held that the Court of Appeal and the FCT High Courts were right in their concurrent findings on the criminal breach of trust filed against the governor. Justice Ogunwumiju, in a unanimous judgment prepared by Justice Ejembieko, which she read, however disagreed with the two lower courts on misappropriation of public funds and subsequently quashed the charge. The misappropriation of public funds brought against Dare under Section 309 of the Penal Code carries a maximum of 2 years imprisonment.
The offense of criminal breach of trust has been proven. He will serve the sentence for criminal breach of trust, which is 10 years.
The appeal court had, however, faulted the trial court for convicting Dare on counts 12 and 23, which it said the prosecution did not prove. It also faulted the trial court for imposing the maximum sentences on both offenses of criminal breach of trust and criminal misappropriation. In Abuja, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has said that the circumstances leading to its taking possession of the £4.2 million Ibori loot was determined by international law and not by any local variable. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami disclosed this to our correspondent Femi Okewo in an exclusive interview.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Since Tuesday, when the Nigerian government signed an agreement with the United Kingdom for the return of £4.2 million illicit funds recovered from the former Delta State Governor James Ibori, members of his family and friends, suggestions have come from some people that the money be returned to the Delta State government instead of being expended on some federal projects as stated in the bilateral agreement. But Justice Minister told NTA News that possession of the loot cannot be as simplistic as the claimants want to make it now, when records of proceedings in the British court leading to the seizure showed that the Delta State government at that time denied the loss of any funds.
It's not an exclusive function of the laws applicable in Nigeria, but it is a collection of those considerations, local and foreign law. So in essence, before now, when in fact the case was being prosecuted against Ibori in UK, papers were filed, court processes were filed by people, inclusive of the Delta State government, where they disowned the money. And eventually, there was conviction, and then Nigeria as a nation, and not Delta State as subnational, was now adjudged to be a victim of crime. Delta State government filed in court processes denying that any money was lost from the state corpus. So in effect, arising from that after conviction, Nigeria being a victim of crime, and not Delta State for that matter, came to roundtable discussions and negotiations with UK as to the application of the money, and it was agreed that yes, we are returning this money. Yes, Nigeria is agreed to be a victim of crime, against the background of denial by Delta State government, among others, and then yet this money should be applied for the benefit of Nigerians, Nigeria being the victim of crime.
The agreement is to the effect that the money is to be repatriated to Nigeria within 2 weeks of the signing of the agreement. In Abuja, Femi Okewo, NTA News.
Now, the cleanup of Ogoni land has been a major project for successive administrations in Nigeria. The present administration has given a new lease of life to the people through the implementation of the cleanup with the inauguration of a new governing council and board of trustees for the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project HYPREP. Onangie Fineface reports.
Flag off of the Ogoni cleanup exercise in June 2016 marked the commencement of the long journey to the restoration of hydrocarbon pollution impacted communities in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria, as recommended in the UNEP report on Ogoni land. So far, out of the 21 contracts awarded in the first phase of remediation works, 15 lots have been completed and certified, while work is ongoing in other sites. For improved performance, the federal government inaugurated a new governing council and board of trustees for the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project, HYPREP.
You will be required to promote transparency, propriety, and integrity in the operation of HYPREP to ensure optimal and satisfactory delivery of the required services.
This is a new dawn and a refreshing era of elevated federal government presence in Ogoni land with lasting positive impact on the living conditions of the good people of Ogoni land.
It's a clear indication of the resolve of the federal government to allow our people own the entire process of the cleanup. We have never had it so good. Thank you, Mr. President.
The Federal Executive Council, early March 2021, approved contracts for 6 water supply schemes at a total cost of 6.05 billion naira to provide potable water for communities impacted by the pollution. In Abuja, on NTA Fine Face, NTA News.
Sports news now. Double joy for Nigeria's emerging panic in CAF elections as league football returns on the NTA this weekend. Details on Sports Updates.
Thanks indeed for joining us on Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye. Let's begin with this cherry news as the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, was on Friday elected into the FIFA Council at the 43rd General Assembly of the Confederation of African Football. The NFF boss, who defeated his only challenger, Walter Yamilando of Malawi, becomes the second Nigerian to be elected into FIFA Council after Amos Adamu. Pinnick was also elected the 5th vice president of CAF after the number of vice presidents was increased to 5 from 3 by the Congress. South Africa's Patrice Motsepe was elected the new CAF president through acclamation after going unopposed. He becomes the first South African and English-speaking president of the Confederation. Meanwhile, they play away to Leeds United at Elland Road on Saturday, with the match live on NTA Network from 1 in the afternoon. 3 more matches will come up on Saturday, while on Sunday, Sheffield United begin live after Chris Wilder, who left his post as the manager of the Blades on Friday with a trip to Leicester City, with Arsenal and Tottenham facing off in the North London derby. And that concludes Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye.
And President Buhari has applauded Mr. Amaju Pinnick, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF), on his election into the FIFA Executive Council, the highest decision-making organ in world football. A statement by the special advisor to the president's media and publicity said, the president believes that by dint of hard work, dedication and consistency, Pinnick has proven to be an efficient football administrator, and the board has taken notice of his competency skills by electing him into the FIFA Council and one of the vice presidents of the Confederation of African Football. The president notes that this feat of enhanced visibility and prestige for Nigeria in the international community is coming on the heels of recent elections of other well-qualified and endowed Nigerians into strategic leadership positions in international organizations. The president urged Pinnick to see his new assignment as an opportunity to enhance Nigeria's reputation and identity as a football-loving nation and optimally utilize the role of sports through football as a driving force to engender development, peace and stability in the regional and international levels. And those are the stories that made the news at this time on NTA International. We thank you for watching. I am Lami Ali, and John Bamidele has been on interpretation for sign language. Remember to always link up with NTA and fight against rape and rapists.